Brand and 1 Genesis Texas. So he's ready for all situations. If you don't have a removal spell, spot removal spell, he's like, hey, I'm going to get this guy because at least he doesn't hurt me while he draws me tons of cards and makes you discard your entire hand.
And he's also got a red splash here for Is It Charm, additional way to dig in his deck, and it also serves as a counter spell here in Legacy.
He has turn 2 here. He has Animate Dead in his hand. So if Jeff doesn't have a, I mean, let's see. I don't think Jeff has anything to stop that. I mean, a Chalice for 2 would stop it, but Wasteland will do it too. Okay, so Wasteland will slow him down a little bit. I think he doesn't have any
land reanimate.
He doesn't have any more land.
No more lands.
Oh.
Oh, this is
So you have the Brainstorm to get out of that, but you know it doesn't work when you don't have any land in your hand. Forcible. That's a pretty good. That's the best non-land card to draw there. So now at least you can protect.
Cycles Forgotten Cave. Jeff Hoogland does.
It's hard to mulligan to the 1 land Careful Study hand with Brainstorm and the turn 2 kill there. So I think you have to force this because if you don't force this, you can't Brainstorm yourself into land. You need to force the will this.
Let's it resolve.
Oh, now you can't. Now you need another land.
Now he can't.
What else are you going to force a will in the loam deck? I mean, I guess Joseph might not have played against him much. There's not really much else to force a will here. Yeah, I mean, like that card doesn't really matter at all.
No, because all Joseph wants to do is
if he would have forced a will that, he would have been able to Brainstorm and hit that land and just, you know, everything would be copacetic there, right?
He's going to discard. Joseph Alane's going to discard his Tidespout Tyrant, another monster, into his graveyard, but he cannot cast his reanimation effects yet. We'll see what Jeff Hoogland finds off of his Dark Confidant. He gets a Dryad Arbor, the Wooded Foothills, and now Life from the Loam.
I'm just in shock.
You have counter spells. Why not use them? Did he have a blue card in hand?
Oh, he had about 15 blue cards in his hand.
1, 2, 3, 4. A Chalice on 2.
Well, we have to force this one now.
He has to fight over this.
But he actually didn't have to. He had Daze in his hand he could have used as well. And then save the Force of Will.
Good point.
But
he's hoping to just raw dog a second land and then exhume here.
Man.
No. There's that Is It Charm I mentioned, the red splash.
Yeah, he's holding a bunch of awkward cards in the deck, like Is It Charm and Tendrils of Agony. Very awkward in the Reanimate deck. And
Tendrils reveals Dark Confidant.
Tendrils is the alternate win for this deck. However, I kind of like it in the sideboard instead of the main deck here.
In another fight over Chalice of the Void, this time Joseph Alane is forced to use his Daze to keep that Chalice set on 2 off the board.
Alright, so
he resets the island. Still no second land in hand. Now Dark Confidant reveals another Wooded Foothills.
Is that another Chalice? The 4th Chalice? That's the 4th Chalice.
If it is, he can now pay for Daze.
It might not be. It's an artifact. It'll play an artifact.
Let's see, he is playing 4 Chalice of the Voids in his deck. Jeff Hoogland, 4 Mox Diamond.
Could have been a Mox Diamond. Well, we'll take a look. When we get another glimpse at his hand here. But yeah, it's just rough. I mean, it looks like there wasn't much land on top of Joseph's deck anyway, but he has Brainstorm and Cantrips to get past that. And it is the 4th Chalice of the Void.
Wow.
Alright, so there's actually no way Joseph can win this game.
2s and 3s locked out now.
2s and 1s, yeah.
2s and 1s, yeah. Excuse me. Yeah.
He draws it turn too late because he can't actually reanimate now. He can't bring anything back in his deck from the graveyard.
Can he cast very much at all?
No. No, his whole deck is shut down. Now he's just playing it out. I'm looking through his list. He has no answer.
He wants to see what Jeff Hoogland has, and now he's going to see Knight of the Reliquary as the follow-up threat. That will force him to pack it in.
Yeah, if he would have forced a will that, he could have brainstormed out of this and been able to like dig at least to get through to that second land. Even though the Chalice on 2 prevented him from reanimating, it still doesn't prevent you from digging to get the extra land. So if he would have done that, he would have been able to hit that second land, maybe.
So quick victory for Jeff Hoogland, a veteran of the Legacy format with 4-color loam, multiple top 8s in various places around the Midwest.
Yeah, and
if you missed it last round, I just want to go back to last round with that Ant deck. Peter Tragos, fantastic comeback there. If we have the replay later on, be sure to watch it. Peter Tragos with the Ant Deck. Follow him on Twitter at MVPD63. That's MVPETEY63. Maybe he'll post some updates. He's currently 4-0. Maybe we'll get to see him later on today in this tournament.
Yeah.
You can follow the conversation on Twitter, hashtag SCGMKE. We had a lot of fun last round. People were commenting, Shaheen, on your affinity for control and saying you want to see a control versus control matchup.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else that just makes people smile. Control versus control is one of those things that can, you know, it's kind of like when all is right in the universe, control mages butt heads. It's kind of like watching two juggernauts run into each other, you know? Where when two aggressive players playing against each other, they're kind of like goblins clawing at each other and biting each other, you know, or like little Kithkin fighting with swords. Control mages are planeswalkers levitating above the battlefield, fighting each other with powerful brain magic. You know what I'm saying?
I have no idea what you're saying because I am just clawing at your sides right now.
You're speaking goblin at me.
Zug zug, Shaheen. New troll here.
It's funny. It's just how it goes. It's class warfare. Control is class warfare. They're the aristocrats.
Kithkin.
I did.
Cedric Phillips is your boss in some sense.
Yeah,
on the website.
Cedric Phillips is an aggro machine. I don't think he's actually tapped an island before, has he?
Very rarely. We know he plays Red-Green Tron in Modern.
He does,
plays
yeah.
Goblins in Legacy. I didn't know what he plays in Standard.
Do you know he beat me for a Grand Prix winning in for top 8, Cedric Phillips? It was limited. And
was he playing Islands there?
No, he's playing Red-Green, actually. Go figure. And I boarded in 3 downpours because my draft deck was so bad. I don't know how I was 2-0. And
downpour.
I tried
to blue and 1, tap 3 target creature.
Yeah, and I tried to downpour him. He's like, and he screamed at me. He's like, Shaheen, you're not downpouring me out of this Grand Prix top 8 because it was close. He almost got downpoured out of it. He ripped the 2-outer reaching Death Touch Spider to beat me. Good old limited. Good old base set limited.
Jeff Hoogland is going to mulligan here. All smiles, good natures.
Yeah, Jeff's a nice guy. He came and we were talking about his card choice earlier, and I was criticizing a certain planeswalker in his standard deck, and he conceded a little bit about it. Everybody will concede a little bit about Ashiok. I conceded about Preordain. Let's all concede about Ashiok. It's okay.
Jeff is a fun guy. I've gotten to know him fairly well through the Open Series. I always like to see him, talk to him. Yeah. He's always all smiles, very excited to play Magic. One of those great guys you like to see do well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's definitely I'm definitely all about people being ambassadors to the game. The more nice guys you have playing Magic, the more people will join the Magic game, and then they'll just continue to
be a pleasant opponent to each other.
No one cares about your sob story. Don't scream at your opponent because you didn't draw well, you know? Get over it. Life happens.
All right, Joseph Alane begins with a Thoughtseize, and here we see Karakas, Mox Diamond,
possibly
Plateau.
The best card against Joseph's deck. You can bounce Genetaxis with it. You can bounce all the legendary reanimate cards. So Karakas is a problem.
We also saw the Green Sun Zenith and the Treetop Village there in Jeff Hoogland's hand. Takes the Maelstrom Pulse, cannot take the land, so Karakas will loom in Joseph Alane's future, and Jeff Hoogland's going to play it right off the bat to make sure that there are no reanimation shenanigans on turn 2.
Yeah, and looking at his deck, a lot of times Joseph players will play an answer to Karakas. He has no answer. He has Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle can name Karakas. Stop the activated ability on it. As discussed earlier, Phyrexian Revoker cannot name land, but can stop mana. Pithing Needle cannot stop mana, but can name lands. A lot of times back in the day, you would play a Pithing Needle, and they would say, okay, and you would immediately yell out Pluto Delta when they had 2 Pluto Deltas out, and then they lose the game. So it's one of those tricks, a little trickery in Legacy. Can't attack with it, though. Alright, so we have 2 mana. We have Is It Charm, Counterspell. You can also burn Dryad Arbor. he so chooses.
Most likely going to be used in the dig mode. Draw 2, discard 2.
Another reliquary with one land in the yard, so that means you can't charm it.
It's a 3/3.
And he was going to draw 2 and discard. Oh, Entomb. Oh, yeah, I didn't see the Entomb was in. Oh, we know what's happening now. So he needs to get a non-legendary card in his deck. Is Tidespout Tyrant not legendary? I don't think it is.
It is not legendary.
So that would be the card you're going to get unless he boarded it out. He has Sphinx of the Steel one in the board, but that is legend. That is not legendary either. I don't think, is it?
No.
There you go. Tidespout Tyrant is now going to be in the graveyard. So this is whenever you play a spell, you get to bounce something. It's really cool. It's one of the original Reanimator cards back when Reanimator came back after the unbanning of Entomb. If you guys remember, Entomb was banned in Legacy for a while. So you unban it. This guy goes in. It's kind of an answer-all. A lot of people play Angel of Despair, even the new Angel of Despair that comes in and blows something out. When it leaves, it blows something up.
Archon. Ashen Rider.
Yeah, so that Tidespout Tyrant is probably worse than the Archon or Ashen Rider, but you know, who am I to say playing a vintage card, OG card is going to be bad? Come on, have a good time.
I don't think Joseph has any way to go infinite with the Tyrant to seriously abuse it, but can get a lot of value out of it just casting his dig spells here.
Right,
you see him cast
there's
Careful
2
Study.
more free spells, but he's got to discard 2 cards here. You definitely discard those Lotus Petals. I mean, sure, they're free spells to bounce, but they don't really do anything, and you really need that Reanimate spell and then the dig spell for later on, so... He discarded... Oh, no. He discarded the... He kept the... He just...
Does he have some way to storm out? Like if he has 2 Lotus Petals bouncing each other?
Did he just hear me and then just decide to... He does have a storm. Yeah, he has Tendrils in his deck, but he doesn't have it in his hand, though. So
Does he have Tendrils in his deck?
Yeah, he has... I think he has Tendrils, doesn't he? I thought I saw Tendrils. Let's see. We're looking through here.
Reanimator deck.
I've seen Tendrils in the sideboard of a lot of these where you can kind of convert into, but you can go infinite with those.
Because what you could do with 2 Lotus Petals is cast them, bounce each other, and build up an infinite storm.
Yeah, so there is no Tendrils here.
So why did he keep those Lotus Petals?
I don't know. I mean, I guess to have 2 more turns, but it seems weak. That Izzet discarding was a brutal discard because it would give you the chance to dig even more. And if you kept that in the Reanimate card, you could just, draw a creature and then, pitch in the graveyard and then reanimate it. I mean, it's not like the Tidespout Tyrant isn't, still going to beat Jeff in the face here. It's big.
It's a 5/5 flyer.
Yeah, so, and he can just play the Lotus Petal. But then again, those 2 spells he kept in his hand are also spells he can just cast, I don't know. We'll see what happens. So Jeff Hoogland, making sure everything
was there a missed trigger?
Make sure everything here is copacetic. We have a recast here, and then he drew Force of Will. So there we go. Force of Will drawn.
Cast Force of Will.
Bouncing something.
Will he remember to bounce?
We'll find out. Yeah, he did.
Well, he bounced the Treetop Village, so...
He had to waste all the Lotus Petals for that, so it's kind of like...
Super wastelandy.
Yeah. It took 3 cards to stop 1 Knight of the Reliquary. I think it could have been a little bit better managed with using the Izzet Charm to draw cards here. It's not like the Knight of the Reliquary would just crush him in 1 turn here.
Only needs 2 more swings with the Tidespout Tyrant. What a great name. Tidespout Tyrant.
I think Joseph drew a spell. If he did, this game's probably over. Jeff doesn't have an answer to taking 5 4 times in a row in the air. And again, another perfect example of Legacy is a perfect piece, like we discussed. And when you throw a 5/5 flyer in the mix, people will just freak out because most decks don't have an answer to cards like that. Sword of Plowshare is around, but not many decks play Sword of Plowshare. Everyone assumes that it's a Legacy staple, and it is, but it's only in, a fraction of the field because planes aren't existing. There's no swords in these 2 decks. There's no swords in the last 2 decks. Let me tell you a little bit about
Jeff Hoogland's deck, what's going on here. In his main deck, he had Abrupt Decays, fairly useless in this matchup, no doubt taken out. Punishing Fires, same deal. The Chalice of the Voids were very good. Devastating Dreams? You're not going to dreams away any creature, so only good in an LD mode. So, what does Jeff Hoogland, what would he bring in to replace those?
Let's take a look. Alright, so...
Nothing to deal with big creatures. Yeah, Maelstrom Pulse.
Let's,
Dreadboard.
Revenant.
Reverent Silence is the free...
destroy enchantment, right?
Free Tranquility.
Oh, Tranquility, yeah, destroy all enchantments, yep. Slaughter Games is not awful, because once they put it in the graveyard, you can exile it, and he has Mox Diamond and City of Traders to get the extra mana. I think I'm bringing Slaughter Games. He's playing a Burning Wish package, so you definitely bring in Thalia.
Yeah, also.
Thalia comes in. That's his best
card.
card.
You leave the sorceries in the sideboard.
Yeah.
But bring in the Thalias, because that just slows down the engine. The
reanimator
deck feeds off of one casting cost spells.
Yeah, you saw what happened with the Chalice, too. I mean, if Jeff's on the play here, and he knows there's a few things that are true. Legacy has 4 noble truths. Okay? Just
4
noble truths.
Should I write these down? Is there going to be a quiz?
There's going to be a quiz, okay?
And 1. Hit me.
The first noble truth
Mr.
is...
Serrani.
I got you. I'm going to teach you a little something. First noble truth is Blood Moon beats all. Well, the truths have to be definite. They have to be definitive, so... the second noble truth is Wasteland and Stifle are bad.
Ooh.
Not bad as in bad cards, but bad for you. Okay? The third noble truth is Chalice of the Void on the play for 1 defeats all. And again, we're making these real definitive. And the fourth noble truth, and probably the most important of all of them, is Stoneblade is the best deck.
I think you made one of these up.
I think I made all those up off the top of my head. So you guys at home, there'll be a quiz. You can tweet at me at ShaheenMTG, and you'll be quizzed on all 4 of these noble truths of Legacy.
3 truths and a lie. Tweet at us, hashtag Scgmke, and tell us which noble truth of Legacy you think is a lie. Or come up with your own noble truths.
Yeah.
I mean, my noble truth is Price of Progress deals 8 to 12 damage. Yes.
Yeah.
Bam.
8 to 12. That's a pretty pretty arrogant. 12. I've seen a lot.
Look how many lands Jeff Hoogland had in play.
I see a lot of people wastelanding themselves in response to stop the damage from happening. It's just indefinite. So
people getting pretty tricksy there, destroying their own lands.
I mean,
you got me.
You got to do what you got to do, right? So I'm just kind of looking here. Looking at the different options.
The 4 noble lies of Legacy, ladies and gentlemen.
They're not lies.
Oh, wait a minute.
They're truths. If you know what religion has the 4 noble truths, you can tweet at ShaheenMTG, where I actually trademarked that from. I do teach world religion as well, so.
Now we are getting Mr. Serrani-ish.
Yeah, I mean, now you brought the teacher out. Teacher's happening here.
At least we didn't bring the Incredible Hulk out. No monstrosity today.
No one's being monstrous today.
Is any monstrous thing played in Legacy?
Absolutely not.
Just the base creatures themselves are too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I could see if maybe Fleece Mane Lion one day, maybe, but not really. It's not good. I mean, can you ever play that over Tarmogoyf or Scavenging Ooze? Things are just way better.
No reason to.
No. Nope. No monsters in Legacy.
Someday. Somebody out there make it happen. When they
ban more cards and force us to play monsters, then we'll definitely have an unhealthy format here.
How many cards would they have to ban?
They gotta ban a lot.
50?
Yeah, they have to ban a lot. Ban all the 1 and 2 mana spells. I remember when they banned the free counter spell that counters one mana spell. What's it called?
Mental Misstep.
Mental Misstep. They banned Mental Misstep and really shook the Legacy world. I remember it came in and a lot of Zoo players playing 4 Mental Misstep in their deck.
Goblins was playing 4 Mental Misstep.
Doing work.
Everybody became Aether Vial and counter Aether Vial with Mental Misstep and counter Mental Misstep with Mental Misstep. And
yeah, it was definitely, I'm glad I dodged that format. Not something I would be very interested in playing. What I am interested in playing, though, is some Legacy. I can't wait for a couple weeks when I get to blow the dust off my Stoneblade deck that hasn't changed a card and bring it to tournament, bring it to battle.
Bring it to battle in Indianapolis, Indiana.
See if it's got enough juice left there, enough gas in the tank.
How many other states have a city in them that's like named after the state?
All right, and we have
kind of weird.
That is a little weird. We have a few people. Marius Hollinga, I'm sure I butchered your name. Guessed Buddhism, and that is correct. The Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path to Enlightenment. Good job. Not that Star City Games is influencing anyone else to be Buddhists out there. You know, be whatever you want to be.
We are open to all religions.
We are.
That wish to coexist in peace.
Yes, exactly. All right, so we
Getting
have
philosophical here.
Yeah, it's
While Jeff mulligans.
Don't mind. It's a good way to kill
Mulliganing
time.
a lot. Is this a mulligan deck, or is he just looking for that? He's going to 4?
Yeah.
He's just looking for the Chalice nut draw at this point. Land, Chalice of the Void. GG.
Chad Zillow says, Fifth Noble Truth is that Shaheen will win the next SG Open if I play Goblins. No, my friend, I'll be in the side events with, all my buddies there if I play Goblins.
Jeff Hoogland mulligan to 4, and it gets Thoughtseize. So basically mulligan to 3.
Oh, man, that was a good mulligan to 3. He couldn't cast it yet, but he could cycle a land to get to it, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so he's going to cycle afterwards.
God, no wonder we got carried away with this game for taking so long. It's because of all that mulliganing.
Cycle again. Well, Jeff knew what was going on. He wanted to give you time to tell people the Four Noble Truths.
Okay.
He's a very conscientious feature match player.
He is. I mean, he goes back to watch coverage. It looks like Joseph kept a one-lane hand again. What if Jeff drew a Chalice there? The game would be over, wouldn't it? I think he has a Force of Will, actually. Just kidding. But it's still risky.
Force of Will, the great equalizer.
It is.
I mean, that's one of the reasons that Modern is having so much trouble finding a stable banned list, is because there isn't a Force of Will to equalize things.
Yeah.
So any combo deck that gets out of hand, you have to ban something, right?
Yes, correct. All right, looks like he has a Lotus Petal for land. He can entomb now, and then he can actually cast what needs to be cast here.
What's he got to bring back? Reanimate?
I think he has Reanimate. I can't tell. A lot of these cards are...
Yeah, many of the reprints, like in the Graveborn set, have new art. There's a Burning Wish that gets dazed.
He can wait
art
too.
By Scott M. Fisher. That's the artist's signature. Very interesting.
Actually, I don't think he has. I think he has triple Entomb. He's got the Force of Will here. Yeah, but
I had a little heart hiccup there.
This mold of 4 here.
He's not gonna.
Is he gonna let this resolve?
Does he just have an Exhume in hand?
I don't think so. I didn't see it. Did he board out all of his creatures?
Yeah, I don't think that happens. That would be like
Inkwell Leviathan.
So afraid of the targeted removal effects.
Well, Inkwell Leviathan is an island-walking, hex-proof, gigantic.
What is it? 7/10?
7/11. I think it's a 7/11. And
the art is really interesting because that is a
shroud.
That is not a human being standing there about to get crushed. That is a lighthouse. That's how big this thing is.
Leviathans are large, and that's another. Hey, talking back to Greek mythology here. These large sea creatures are all throughout the Odyssey. If you read that book before back in high school.
I played in the Odyssey.
The Odyssey format?
Yeah.
So he did have a Reanimate in his hand, one of them. So the Entomb was just for show, just before he showed the Force Will to Jeff. He's like, in response to that, and I'm still going to Force Will it.
Yeah.
So
make him think he had a chance.
Yeah.
So 3 swings of the Inkwell. Oh, but it has Shroud. I was like,
Yeah, it gets you
How
for a minute. Joseph knew.
Joseph just knew.
He got the sick read there.
The sick read on the 3rd card down in Jeff Hoogland's deck, Joseph Alane had.
Gaddock Teague.
Not going to do anything. All of Joseph's spells
I like Joseph
are
not
cheap.
using any more of these Entombs here. I mean, I might use one more, but they're good to discard and careful study. Is he saying... He's saying go. He has careful study. I don't know why he's not using it.
Maybe waiting until he has better things to discard?
Yeah, I guess. But he can just Entomb and then get the Reanimate spell that way, too. I think he's got like double Entomb. Yeah, see, those are 2 Entombs and then careful study. I would just careful study on my turn here.
Jeff Hoogland.
But then again, Jeff's at 7, so he's just going to chump block here. And it tramples, so you can't really chump block. Another thing I forgot. Takes 5 to the face.
So Jeff Hoogland needs to find a Burning Wish into something. Nothing. I don't think he has anything that kills the Shrouded
No, not at
Equal
all.
Leviathan.
Not at all.
Not even like an edict effect. No one expects the giant 7-11 Leviathan. The Quickie Mart Leviathan.
All right, well, Jeff's going to be good sport here. He's going to try to survive. Facing down the barrel of a 7-11 Leviathan creature. Nothing he can do here.
He even had the Maze of Ith.
Yeah.
With the Shrouded
In
creature.
case you thought you had a chance.
Yeah. I did
This guy is Shroud
momentarily.
too. This guy is Shroud too. Just to rub
Just
it
for a
in.
moment, I thought he had a chance.
Yeah.
I got excited when he cast a Chalice of the Void for 1.
Yeah. I like his sideboard. He has 2 Dark Rituals on the sideboard. That's really interesting. Joseph's deck has 2 rituals, and he boarded them both in. I wonder what the ritual is for. I guess to defeat Wasteland and have enough mana to do stuff. But well, he wins the game, wins the match. Joseph goes to 5-0 over Jeff Hoogland, local hero, slain by large Tidespout tyrants and Inkwell Leviathans. Not the creatures you would think that would be the victorious here.
Not even from a
deck.
Reanimator deck.
Yeah,
Yeah, traditionally these days, Gristlebrand
Or
is
Iona or Elishnorn are the 3 hotbed creatures here that you want to
Yeah.
have. But hey, nice job.
Gristlebrand, another card that there was some talk, people said, needs to be banned in Legacy. There's a period where both Reanimator and Show and Tell